That's right. Football is back. We are ready to go. Browns with some preseason action. We'll get to those red-hot Guardians coming up in a little bit. But I'm so excited for this week's show. You want some insight on the Cleveland Browns? We have Warren Sharp joining us on this week's edition to the show. Plenty to dive in on the quarterback side of things. We'll touch on the defense. Who's going to win this quarterback battle? We'll get to all that coming up with Warren, and he's got a deal for all our listeners and viewers out there. We'll get to all that coming up right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. So happy to have you along this week's edition of the show, presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford, Garage Beer, Pure AV, and Physicians Ambulance. We'll tell you about them coming up in just a little bit, but we can go no further without welcoming in the great Warren Sharp. I've been following Warren for a long time. You need to be following him on Twitter at Sharp Football Analytics. Warren, really appreciate your time as always. And, you know, you guys have your football preview out. And I tell everybody that if you want to bet last year, a $100 better won over $15,000 following your picks. You guys are at a 63% lifetime record. You guys, tell everybody, you crunch the numbers hardcore. It's fantasy, it's betting, it's just people that want a little insight to their team. Your football preview, I mean, Warren, you did it alphabetically. The Browns are Cleveland C, and they were on page 191 of your preview. I mean, you guys have so much stuff over there at Sharp Football.
Yeah, I didn't even think about how far deep the Cleveland Browns are, but this is what it looks like. This is 586 pages. This is what we work on all off season to get it into your guys' hands. Basically breaking down the season to get ready for everything that we need to be prepared for when we're placing those bets, when we're hitting the futures market, when we're drafting our fantasy rosters. So it's a ton of work. It's a labor of love, but it's so rewarding when you're done, because you find out a lot more about these teams. I write up every single team's analysis in here. I go through all 32. So it gives me the perspective as to which teams I like a little bit more, which teams surprise me, which teams I'm a little bit lower on than I thought I was going to be entering it. It's a way, data is a way to strip away a lot of your preconceptions about teams and really dig down into, what this team actually did. And then you go and watch some of the film to just confirm what the data is showing at times. It's a big exercise, obviously, to come up with a book like this, but it's well worth it.
And it is worth it to all you out there because they have a special code. You can get the PDF right now for $1. That's right, $1. So you can follow Warren on Twitter at Sharp Football. But if you go to sharpfootballanalysis.com, you want to get the preview. There's a promo code that you put in there. You put the word kickoff in. Again, the word is kickoff. It's just for our viewers and listeners here at Big Play, and you get the whole thing for $1. And again, I don't know many fantasy leagues that have started drafting yet, but you want to get those wagers, and that is $1 well spent. And Warren, just even on the Browns, you guys have 15 pages just dedicated to the Cleveland Browns, and we'll talk a lot about it coming up. But I also got to give you credit for something because you came on with us last year, and we're so appreciative of it. Ryan, what did Warren tell us last year? Be worried about Deshaun Watson in the Kevin Stefanski offense, and lo and behold,
it's all about the EPA.
What happened on that? Warren, when you look at the Browns, and there's so much information that is so great to see about the Cleveland Browns, what is your overall vibe? I loved your write-up where you said we don't even really need to revisit 2024 with what happened with the quarterback situation, but we'll talk the quarterbacks here. Just your overall vibe of the Browns as we get ready to go for this 2025 season.
To me, if I could put it into two words, it's just swing big. Because what's the penalty if you miss? The only person I think that really stands to lose a lot if they miss is Kevin Stefanski, because I don't know what's going to happen to his job if the Cleveland Browns struggle this year. But they did something. Obviously, I know a lot of Browns fans wanted them to do something with their high pick in the draft this year. They're building for the future with draft capital in a draft that should be very quarterback rich. They then went out and drafted 2 quarterbacks in the mid to late rounds this season, which is relatively unheard of as well. And they're looking to see, did we catch lightning in a bottle here with either of these guys, right? And now preseason, we haven't seen the games yet. We know Shador is going to be playing a lot in their first game, but We haven't seen Dylan Gabriel. We haven't seen Shador. We don't even know what Kenny Pickett really is going to look like either. But I believe Joe Flacco's best days are well behind him. I don't believe Kenny Pickett is the answer to any question. So the issue is Shador going to be a guy, or could Dylan Gabriel be a guy? Now, I don't really have a lot of confidence that either are the franchise quarterback, but what is going to happen if you swing big and miss? You're going to just continue to accumulate draft capital for the future. So it's not really the what a lot of Browns fans probably want to hear about not having a lot of faith in the Browns competing and being a successful team this season. The only way that were to happen is if one of these guys comes in and absolutely blows everybody's mind, hits it out of the park, and performs extremely well. And that's just obviously unlikely to happen with this roster and collective talent surrounding them. But I still have faith in Kevin Stefanski as a coach. And I wish he had an opportunity to work with a quarterback that he selects in the draft at the top of the draft next year. But time might be running out on that.
Warren, one of the things, and I just want to bring up a little snippet from your preview, because, again, there's so many great things on graphs and graphics. And one of the things that I really loved was the pass heat map that you guys put together for the Browns and pass results by location. And here we just have a quick, and this is just one snippet of 15 pages worth of things. But Warren, like, to the layperson like me, I go, the Browns do not push the ball down the field. Now, you had Jameis Winston, who's got an arm. We know the Deshaun Watson thing. But, like, when you see the Browns, is that a real issue, or do you think they can survive kind of doing what they want to do with Kevin Stefanski with these short passes and really nothing going down the field more than 10 yards?
Well, what they have to focus on from the passing attack is just building some better efficiency on first down. In my opinion, you can't continue to dink and dunk on first down and not have success, because that trickles down into everything else with the offense, and then it trickles down into your game states, and it trickles down into your ability to even win games. And look no further than, my rankings of where you guys were last year on first down. We're just focusing on first down. Dead last in EPA per pass and success rate for passing. Dead last in EPA per rush and 31st in success rate for rushing. You also rank 30th or worse in yards per play on both passing and rushing. What happens when you're this terrible on first down? It cascades into everything else. You therefore had the longest distance to go on third down because you were so bad on first down. As a result, you were the worst third down offense. You didn't convert a lot of first downs. As a result, you punted a lot. You had the number 31st lowest punt rate, meaning you punted the second most frequently per drive. As a result, you didn't take many trips into the red zone. You ranked dead last in red zone drive rate. As a result, you didn't score very often on drives. You ranked 32nd in points per drive. As a result, you didn't score many points per game. You ranked dead last in points per game. And as a result, you didn't build very many halftime leads. You ranked 31st in halftime lead. And as a result, you didn't win many games. You ranked dead last in number of games won at 3. So everything builds on itself. This is football, right? Offense affects defense. Special teams affects them both. But if you're terrible on first down, like you guys were, it impacts everything else. First down theoretically should be the easiest time to throw the football, because that is the lone down where the defense has no idea what's coming. It's 10 yards to go almost 100% of the time, and you have got an ability to run or pass. You just need to gain 10 yards in 3 downs, sometimes 4 downs. You have everything on the table. The defense isn't sure what you're going to do. That's when a quarterback should be getting the least amount of pressure. That's when a quarterback should be able to complete the highest rate of passes. That's when your passing attack should be the most effective, when you pass the ball on first down. And you guys were the worst in the NFL last year. Now, in part, that's because of the quarterbacks. In part, that's because of the offensive line. In part, that's because of the schedule that you face. In part, that's because of the wide receivers and some of their drops and some of their issues. It's a collective thing. But to your point, they absolutely must get better and more efficient throwing the football on first down, but also trying to, if you're better on first down, what that allows you to do is hunt for explosives in the passing game on other downs, while still being able to feel confident that you can convert a first down on a third down, third and short, or fourth and short. So it's very difficult to get explosive plays in the NFL now with the way the defenses are playing two high coverages. They're bottling everything up. Explosive play rate is at an all-time low. Teams have to matriculate the ball into the red zone at an all-time high in order to score touchdowns. The vast majority of touchdowns are coming from inside of the red zone. Previously, it was like only 21% of all touchdowns were coming from outside of the red zone. 25% of all touchdowns were coming from outside of the red zone. Now it's down to basically 20% of all touchdowns are coming from outside of the red zone. 80% are being scored close to that inside of the red zone. You have to be able to work the ball down there. But if you're an offense that can get explosive plays, you're going to be able to bypass a lot of the things that defenses are looking to put a lid on. And if you're always in 2nd and 10, 2nd and 9, 2nd and 8, your focus isn't being able to waste it down hunting and explosive. Your focus is on, I got to get 8 yards in 2 plays. How am I going to do that?
Warren Sharp joining us. The football preview is out. 500 pages worth of information on every team for betting, for fantasy. Go get it, sharpfootballanalysis.com. Use the code KICKOFF, and you get it for $1 as we get ready to go for the NFL season. Warren, this seems like a loaded question, but it's kind of the eternal hope for Browns fans. Can they just be a quarterback away? Like, when you look at this roster, we talked about so much of the negativity about where they hurt themselves on offense, Jerry Jeudy, and we'll talk about him a little bit later, offensive line. Like, is there a dream that this team can just be a quarterback away from competing?
Well, we have them ranking as one of the top 6 front sevens in the NFL. And obviously you added to that in the draft, and we're going to talk about one of the best players in the NFL playing for you guys along that front 7. So I think that you guys are solid there. Secondary, about average. We have them ranked about league average. The issue is previously it was a quarterback away. And if I was talking to you probably 2 years ago, that would potentially be my response. Your offensive line is not as good as it once was. Some of the vets are getting a little bit older, a couple of years removed from maybe their best performing years. And your running back core is not quite as great right now. We've got them ranked 28th. There's questions there. There's upside and potential, but in terms of being able to feel confident about that unit. Now, I am a firm believer in, obviously we saw Saquon Barkley, but he was running behind one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Keep that in mind with Philadelphia Eagles. But we've seen guys, right, like Christian McCaffrey, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry blow the lid off this argument. But I believe that offensive line is more important than running back. And so I don't care that you have a below average running back core. If your offensive line was a little bit better, that's going to help all of those running backs have success. But your receivers are below average as well. And so I don't feel like you guys are just a quarterback away. That being said, when you find that quarterback, that then allows you to build around him in ways that you guys have not been able to do. Here's the thought process. Think about everything that you guaranteed for Deshaun Watson. Think about the cap hits that you've been paying for Deshaun Watson. Not only was he not the answer, but his cap hit and his expense was massive. That prevented you from doing things in free agency or in the draft because of what you gave up to really build around him. When you find a quarterback in the draft and you're drafting him and he ends up being the guy, if you find out about that, like think about Denver with Bo Nix. He might not be the best quarterback in the NFL or not even top 10. But when you've got a guy who can obviously run the offense and you feel very confident in, then you have money to spend because his cap hit is so cheap for the next 3 years for the Denver Broncos that you can funnel money into a lot of other positions via free agency or the draft where you're able to build around this guy pretty quickly. And so that's the confidence that you would want to have in the future, is that if one of the guys this year, or we're picking high because one of the guys this year weren't the answer, so we'll get a guy next year and hopefully he's the answer, then we can use a lot of draft capital. Then we can focus on the positions of need. We can go into free agency. We can acquire what we need, and we can really build up where we need to get pretty quickly. So honestly, if you guys were just a quarterback away, you probably wouldn't win only 3 games. But that's actually what you want to be if you want to find that quarterback. You want to win very few games. So that's a predicament that I think Browns fans will find themselves in this year. Is you obviously hate seeing failure out on the field, but you want to think about the long term. Do you want your franchise to be able to win a Super Bowl, or do you want your franchise to just have winning records like the Pittsburgh Steelers have done over the last 5, 7, 8 years, where they get to the playoffs and then they always lose and they don't have nothing to show for it, but they don't have a franchise quarterback? I would rather crap out, be terrible, get a franchise quarterback, and then quickly build around him in those first 5 years.
Two of those options, Warren, maybe will be it. I don't know. Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And I know we haven't seen him play yet. There's been reports Dylan has obviously struggled at times. He battled the hamstring. Now Shedor's got the shoulder. I know, again, it's hard because we just haven't seen them. But any thoughts on Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, something maybe you like or something that you really questioned about the selection, either one of those guys in the draft?
I honestly didn't question either selection. Dylan Gabriel, maybe where they took him and why they took him, I just don't see a lot from Dylan Gabriel. He wasn't an exciting prospect for me personally, so that one was a little bit puzzling. But the thought process and the strategy of drafting two quarterbacks in the same draft where you have nothing, where you've got a massive cap hit for a veteran quarterback who's not going to be playing for you in Deshaun Watson. I think that is a positive to try to take those swings. It's not really the traditional way to approach things. And so I'm all for that. When you're a team like the Browns, why not try something a little bit more unique, a little bit more different to try to make something happen, light a spark, figure out a different answer, way to get to the answer. The issue this season is, you guys are going to play the 10th toughest schedule of opposing defenses against the pass. You played the number 1 toughest schedule of opposing defenses against the pass last year. So you're in the AFC North. You're going to be playing tough pass defenses. Unfortunately, that's pretty much a given. And the schedule lines up. I've got you playing the second toughest schedule overall. So whichever one of these guys is going to win that starting job, I would feel better about Shedeur than Dylan Gabriel at this moment. I don't think either of them should start game one. Obviously, I think they need to work their way in, learn how to study the film, game plans, the preparation week to week, because that's an aspect of this that none of them have dealt with, obviously, on a professional level. But you do have two professional quarterbacks in there, in Joe Flacco, in Kenny Pickett. Say what you will about their ceiling or their upside, but both of those guys absolutely know how to prepare for a game. They both know how game plans work, film study works, all of those things on a week-to-week basis where time is of the essence. You don't have a lot of time to get prepared for your next opponent. Letting both of these guys, Dylan and Shedeur, sit there, learn from the veterans, figure out when is the right time to insert them. I would lean more towards Shedeur. I think he has the higher upside. I think his floor is higher right now. But I think I've got some stats here about you guys have the number 1 hardest schedule weeks 1 to 4 in the entire NFL. You've got the second hardest schedule overall. If you struggle in that opening month, then you have to go to London against a Brian Flores-led defense and the Minnesota Vikings, followed by a road game in Pittsburgh, where you are 3-31 since 1990 and have lost 21 of your last 22 games. I don't really think that we need to be seeing either of these guys in those first 6 weeks. Let's let one of these other vets get beat up and get, discredited and all the nasty articles written about them. We don't want to destroy the confidence of whoever you're ultimately going to think is the guy that is the most capable for this season that early in the year.
So it sounds like 6 games there, Warren, right, is kind of about where you're thinking about that strength of schedule and maybe start to keep our eye out for some of the rookies. So amazing stuff there. Again, Warren Sharp joining us this week, sharpfootballanalysis.com, code KICKOFF for $1 for our viewers and listeners out there. You get Warren's preview for just $1. You can't beat it. All right, we're going to flip over. We're going to talk some defense with Warren coming up, and we'll do it here on the Fontana Show. Our show, of course, presented by our great friends at Fairway Ford. The deals are amazing, and now it gets even better. Look at that. 0% for 48 months, 0 down, no payments for 90 days, and this is where you get me. Complimentary maintenance for 2 years. That is so important. The oil changes, top off the fluids, check everything out. That is the place to go at Fairway Ford. It's a short drive to Canfield. They'll deliver anywhere, though, and you see those new 2024, 2025 F-150s, the Platinum right there. Just go ahead and pull that in my driveway right there. done and done. And then when you add in the 0% for the 48 months, the complimentary maintenance, I mean, they make it so easy. You want a deal when you get a car. Well, let's cut straight to it. You want a good vehicle for a good price. There's no better place to go than Fairway Ford. Online, fairwayfordohio.com. Tell them we sent you from Big Play. They'll really hook you up with our friends at Fairway Ford. Warren Sharp joining us this week. We'll talk some defense next, presented by our great friends, Pure AV, Garage Beer, Physicians Ambulance, and Fairway Ford. Back right after this.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Lake Spur Marketing, connecting your brand to the right customers. Visit lakespurmarketing.com today.
Back here on the Fontana Show. Check us out Thursday nights, 8 o'clock, 4 o'clock on Fridays on The Rock. Ryan Tyler, Matt Fontana, and we are so happy to be joined by Warren Sharp, sharpfootballanalysis.com. Get the preview for just $1 with code KICKOFF. We got to talk some defense with Warren in a second. Well, a little defense with a Pure AV. And what I mean by defense is you have something that's broken in your home. Something on the AV side of things, whether Joe homeowner installed it, or you did have it professionally installed, but something's not right or something's broken. Pure AV, they do brand new installs. They can do brand new homes. Talking to Don about that last week, but they really excel. And where I frankly think they're the best, they can fix anything. They know how to fix anything. Projectors, TV screens, the Dolby Atmos surround sound, outdoor. You know, something got messed up in a storm and you had everything right. And it's maybe hard to get somebody back out to fix that. Or again, you installed it. You don't know what's wrong with it. Pure AV can fix anything and they'll do that for you. PureAVCORP.com is their website. Check them out. Free. They'll come out to your house for a free estimate for the new installs. Or again, you need something fixed. Go with our friends at Pure AV. Back into football we go. Warren Sharp joining us on this week's show. And Warren, I want to shift the focus to the defensive side of things and Myles Garrett. Listen, he got paid. It's been the offseason of pass rushers. TJ Watt got paid. What's happened with Micah and Trey Hendrickson and all that. So a bit of a loaded question here, but I got to know. Do you believe that Myles Garrett is the best pass rusher in football?
Yeah, I mean, he led all qualified pass rushers in pressure rate last season. I think one of the things that's tricky about a team like the Cleveland, because there's always this debate, TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, back and forth. You guys are rivals. You play them twice a year. The issue is that think about the game states that TJ Watt finds himself in and what we've heard discussed about the Pittsburgh Steelers and specifically Mike Tomlin. Never has had a losing season. What does that mean? Most of the time, opponents are throwing the ball with desperation, dropping back to pass the football in the second half of games, because more often than not, teams that play the Pittsburgh Steelers are losing. And that gives opportunities for a pass rusher to find himself in a known passing situation against a desperate play caller where you know a pass is coming against a quarterback who is losing that game. That's a great situation, licking your chops if you're the pass rush unit there or if you're TJ Watt. On the other side of the ball, you've got the Cleveland Browns, who have not had such good luck, good fortune for their game states, for their situations. And so Myles Garrett hasn't necessarily had as many opportunities in these obvious key passing situations to just pin his ears back, lick his chops, and say, this is 100% a pass. This tackle I'm going up against, he knows I'm coming. I can easily fake him because he's going to overset maybe because he knows I'm coming. There's a lot of different things that allows a pass rusher to have more success in those moments. And TJ Watt certainly has had more opportunities than has Myles Garrett. So both are great. And I really don't love the discussion of like, well, fractionally, which one is technically a slight bit better? I just think that Myles Garrett is the top in the top pass rusher discussion in the NFL. And if one year he's the best and his stats the next year are second best, like I don't really care about that. I think he is absolutely elite and dominant. I think we're fortunate to see a guy like that put those skills on display. And it just would be more fun, I think, for Browns fans and for the rest of football to see him be able to impact games where the Browns are up by 3 points and the other team is driving, and then Myles Garrett sacks them and it creates a fumble and the Browns win the game, right? These are the moments that win the game for the Cleveland Browns. There really have been far too few opportunities for that to be the case in Cleveland for Myles Garrett.
Defense as a whole, Warren, I'm really excited about Mason Graham. I like that move. I know everybody sends me Travis Hunter videos, and yes, he looks great down in Jacksonville, but I love the move to get him. Carson Schlesinger, the linebacker, really excited about him. Denzel Ward had one of his best healthy seasons last year, which is great. The loss of MJ Emerson's going to be tough, but this seems to be yet another season where if the Browns, I'm with you, Warren, I don't think they're going to the playoffs. I don't even think they might not even sniff 7 wins. But for any game that they win, it's going to be leaning so much on this defense. Do you think this defense can create a little bit of the magic that they had a couple of years ago when they were one of the best defenses we've ever seen?
I'm a little concerned that they aren't close to that level. Magic at times, yes, absolutely. Consistent brilliance, consistently being able to put the team on their back and win games week in, week out. I don't think that that's going to be the case here. Unfortunately, the fatigue just sets in. And I think they've had this fatigue all of last year. And I don't know that they've gotten that taste out of their mouth. And they're going to have to start the year with that again, given the schedule of opponents that the Browns are going to be facing this season. The other thing to consider is, yes, I like the moves. I like some of the draft picks that they added, and I like some of the players they have. And like I said, we've got them with the 6th best front 7 and an average secondary. So I think they are fine defensively and an above average defense, certainly. You guys will also be playing the number 1 toughest schedule of opposing offenses this year, the number 1 toughest schedule of opposing quarterbacks this year by my metrics. So, I mean, you look at the AFC East, and as long as Tua is healthy, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Patriots are an improved offense, and they've got a new head coach. You go to the NFC North, the Chicago Bears have a new coach, play caller. That offense should be a little bit better. Move the Detroit Lions down a slight bit. Minnesota, I still think Minnesota is going to be fine, and they got one of the more brilliant offensive play callers in the NFL, and Kevin O'Connell. And then you've got the Green Bay Packers that I don't think people realize how nicked up and banged up Jordan Love was last year. The receivers weren't helping that offense at all. That's going to be a good offense in 2025, in my opinion. The Titans have a new quarterback. The upside is there. The Las Vegas Raiders, they have a new quarterback, a new head coach, new play caller, and Chip Kelly. That offense is going to be significantly better than what it was. And then you got the San Francisco 49ers, who are also going to be significantly better. The problem for you guys, when you look at that schedule, obviously, and the Pittsburgh Steelers have a new quarterback, same play caller, though. But the problem is when you look at that schedule, you say, okay, we're playing, a schedule, 4th place schedule. We should be getting teams that also finish in 4th place. But unfortunately, it's the San Francisco 49ers, who had a very down year. A lot of their offense was banged up. Now suddenly that offense is going to be healthy. That's not a 4th place offense in the NFC West. That's a much better offense that you're going to be playing. The same thing for the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, they were 4th place last year. Who knows where they will finish this year? But that offense with Geno Smith and new head coach, much better than what it was. That's not a 4th place caliber offense. And then the Tennessee Titans getting a new quarterback in this year. They're not going to be any worse than they were, let's put it that way, with Will Levis at the helm. So it's going to be a difficult situation for you guys in terms of your opponents. And I'm just very big on strength of schedule. So as much as I respect your defense, I don't think it's where it quite once was. And I also think the schedule is just going to be brutal. And if the offense doesn't help out a little bit more this year, hold their end of the bargain up. If they're not punting at the highest rate in the NFL to keep your defense constantly going out on the football field, and you guys are going to inevitably struggle. Any defense would. You need that. This is why the offense can help the defense so much. You need that offense to be a little bit better on 1st down so that they are converting a little bit better on 3rd down, so that they're not punting as much, so that your defense is playing in better situations and playing less frequently on the field.
Warren, we always appreciate it. I could talk to you for hours about this as we get ready to go for the season. But again, 500 pages worth of information. If you're a bettor, if you like fantasy, a $100 bettor just last year, over 15 grand if you follow Warren's picks. But you got to go get them. You have to go to sharpfootballanalysis.com. The preview for our listeners is just $1. Code kickoff. You get it. Warren, I love going through it. It's so much fun. And you guys make it, I got to tell you this, man, I got to give you so much prop for this. It's easy for me. So if it's easy for me to understand it and be able to read it, it's easy for anybody. You guys take the most advanced analytics and make it easy for the average person to enjoy the game. It's so much fun. Warren, really appreciate it. We'll continue following along.
Thanks for having me, guys. Good luck this season.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Smart Choice Windows. Energy efficient products at an affordable price. Visit smartchoicewindows.com today.
Well, plenty of football with Warren Sharp. Great stuff, but we got to turn our attention to some baseball. The Guards! Here they come, baby! Those Tigers! Feeling the heat. God, does it feel good to sweep the Mets. Freaking Gavin Williams. And they kept Stephen Quandt. Let's go. Talk some Guardians right here. Welcome back. Fontana Show here on Big Play, of course, the Rock Entertainment Sports Network, presented by our great friends, Fairway Ford, Garage Beer, Pure AV, and our newest addition, but it is not new to me. It is Physicians Ambulance. I've known Jason Hess, no joke, right, 10 years. I've known Jason for a long time and the team at Physicians Ambulance, and I'm so happy that they're joining us over here at Big Play. And I have a message out there for anybody that's an EMT or a paramedic, and you're looking for a place that is going to respect you, a place that is going to have the newest, latest equipment updated. You can feel proud to do your job as an EMT or a paramedic. That is Physicians Ambulance. I'm telling you, I've seen the growth of this company, and I've seen the investment that Jason has in his family owned and operated. His grandparents started this company, and he's taken it over, and he has taken them to levels you can never imagine. You're a sports fan as an EMT or paramedic. They work with all of the major sports teams here in Northeast Ohio. If there's an event at literally any of the stadiums downtown, most like Rocket Arena, Progressive Field, Huntington Bank Field, they are there. So if you're a sports fan and you're looking to combine your loves, being an EMT, a paramedic, and sports, Physicians Ambulance is the place to go. And I'm telling you, they are an amazing company. You will be proud to work for them. You'll be proud to be part of their family. They treat their employees so right and so well. So they're looking for people right now. You can follow them on Instagram, Physicians Ambulance. They're on Facebook and LinkedIn. That's probably the easiest place to go. Just search Physicians Ambulance right now. They're building all over. And not only that, they're headquartered right here in Brecksville, but they have 8 locations, satellites in North Ridgeville, Menor, Kent, Warren, Ashland, Worcester, and brand new Columbus. There's got to be one close to you. That's a Physicians Ambulance you can work for. They're the best. We welcome them in here to Big Play. We love them very much. They are the best. PhysiciansAmbulance.com. Brian, Tigers choking a little bit right now.
They're struggling. That's for
struggling. Dude, the Guards sweeping the Mets. Chef's kiss, man. I love that. I will not stand for Gavin William slander. I just won't do it. I'm not talking to you. I've been a big fan of his for a long time. And, just...
The Juan hitter.
Dude, Cash Vince was on that. He is so good. To pimp that, come on.
Just a generational player. At that point, you tip your cap.
I do, but you didn't need to pimp it. And I give Mets fans credit. If you haven't seen the video, they gave a standing ovation to Gavin Williams.
That was cool.
He deserved. Dude, that's kind of my thing. Even the Logan Allen start, where it's a little struggle, you're like, okay, this might be a long game. You fight and you scrap and you claw. That is what this Guardians team, if they're going to win anything, that is how they have to do it. And I'm starting to see it. I'm starting to believe just a little bit. The lineup is not perfect, but they're fine. Like Fry all of a sudden, and Schneeman is hot all of a sudden. They sucked me back. I don't know if I was ever out. I guess I was. I said I didn't think they were going to make the playoffs. Dude, come on, man. Let's go. I love sitting down and watching every game going, we got a chance to win. And I believe that. And the starting pitching, again, say what you want about Tanner Bybee or whatever, just try to keep finding your way to get it done, man. Just find a way to keep winning some of these games, and we'll see where it goes. They didn't trade Quan. We both felt like they weren't, and I just want to say I appreciate that because I don't think there was any reason to do it. Bieber... There's going to be a start in August that I'm like, man, I wish he was here for this one. The kid they got back, that Khalil Stephan, sounds like another like this. I don't want to say it's Kluber for Class A type of situation, but that guy already comes in as our number 1 pitching prospect, and you got him for Bieber. So I'm all right with the deadline. I'm just over the hill. I'm over the hill. I am some people I am over the hill. I'm over the moon that they didn't trade Stephen Kwan, right? I thought that was the right thing.
Yeah, I'm excited about the prospect of Cal Steffen. You know, he started as a reliever, actually, Purdue, went to Mississippi State, I believe it was, and converted to a starter. Has an arsenal, good command. Maybe nothing that's going to blow by you, but wait till Carl Willis gets his hand on that young kid. And then we'll be cooking, and if anything, you trust in the pitching factory that is the Cleveland Guardians.
I love it. So, kept Kwan, just one game at a time, man. Just keep finding the way. You can beat the Mets. You can beat anybody. I'm telling you that. You get a little confidence rolling for this Guardians team, and we'll see where we're at come October. All right. It is the preseason. It's our first edition of the Garage Beer preseason drinking game. We got the list. We will explain it, and we'll do it all next. Fontana Show presented by Fairway Ford, Garage Beer, Pure AV, and Physicians Ambulance. We reveal the drinking game next.
The Big Play Sports Network is brought to you by Garage Beer. No bitterness, no frills, no IPA, just beer-flavored beer. Find local retailers who sell garage beer near you by visiting drinkgaragebeer.com.
All right, it is back. The only reason I'm upset that they went from 4 to 3 preseason games and inevitably 2 is we have to cut down on the amount of the drinking game that we can do. We will explain it. It's presented by Garage Beer. Welcome back. Matt Fontana with you. Ryan Tyler. Big Play. Catch us on Thursday nights at 8 o'clock, Fridays at 4 o'clock on The Rock. So here, I want to make this well known. You do not have to drink alcohol with this. You could drink iced tea. You could drink lemonade. You could drink whatever you want when it comes to the preseason drinking game. This is an evolution that I've done, man, Ryan, I want to say like 6 years.
Yeah, you're
like
old.
I'm old. Been doing this a long time. And the whole idea is preseason games can be a little bit of a drag. So let's have a little fun with it. This is an evolution of the Shark Week drinking game. If you know how that works, something will happen on the TV broadcast. Something will happen, and there is a corresponding amount of sips of your beverage that you must take. I would advise staying away from the hard stuff. Go with Garage Beer. Go with a nice lemonade. Go with a nice iced tea. But Ryan, let's take a look at it. Week 1 of the preseason. Here we go. So this is how it goes. Sip 1, or one sip, would correspond that this is a staple. We never take this one off. Somebody makes a play and you go, I didn't know that guy was on the roster.
Yeah.
I love Browns fans. And their knowledge is deep. Like, we know the roster. But, like, when you see somebody and you go...
When Toa Tawa gets a fire.
Yes, thank you. They just signed Travion Williams. Not Travion Henderson, but Travion Williams. They make that play on Friday night, and this is the honor system. You take a sip. 2 sips. Carson Swessinger makes a tackle. I'm assuming he's going to play. I think he's going to play a lot. Or our 2 camp darlings. Luke Floria, Gage LeVarden. They make a catch. It's like PPR.
I hope they both make the roster.
Floria, I think, has a really good
like
chance. I really think Floria has a good chance. LeVard maybe practice squad, but they get it. You get it done there. 3 sips. Any B-roll of Shedeur Sanders at the draft to talk about that whole thing, even though it's beating a dead horse. Any mention of Deshaun Watson, or he is shown, or mention of returning to form. That is 3. 4 sips. Either team changes quarterback. I like that. Joe Flacco's age is mentioned. This is one of my favorite ones. 5 sips if they mention Bryce Young's height at any time of the broadcast.
Don't do him like that.
I think he's going to play. So we'll see. And this is the old Cade York special here. Missed a kick, field goal, extra point, it's done. And then we'll explain the Beer King or
Should
Queen.
we make an extra point miss finish your drink?
I hope not. It's asking for bad things, and I usually don't like doing that. But we'll leave that one in there. And then the final thing, Beer King or Queen. If you're watching the game with friends, everybody pick one offensive player. If they score the first touchdown, you are the king or queen for the night. You don't get up for a drink. Or if you're out at a location, you get all your drinks paid for the rest of the night. That's a Joe Thomas gave me that one. And I told Joe that I would forever put that in there, so we appreciate it. Presented by our great friends at Garage Beer. All right, let's jump into the grid. We'll get to that next. Stay with us. Here we go. A couple of weeks, Ryan. We'll have the regular season and some of these immaculate grids that get a little bit easier today. Ooh,
a new little recording interception.
And LSU. We love it. Welcome back, Fontana Show. Ryan, here we go.
Okay, recorded an interception for the Dallas Cowboys.
Trevon Diggs. Or Deron Bland. Wasn't it Bland that had like the ungodly
7
amount?
pick sixes.
Yeah.
This is a pick 6 merchant.
He's got a lot.
Colts.
I would say Bob Sanders probably had one or two. Former defensive player of the year.
Okay. There's a 2004 to 11 and then a 1967
Yeah.
Bob Sanders.
It'd be interesting if we went with the other one to see. I don't know.
LSU. Okay, so Patrick Peterson played for the Vikings, right?
Correct.
So maybe we say
But
that.
so does Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, but we need recorded an interception.
Oh, I thought you were talking about using Peterson over there. Yeah, go Patrick Peterson, record interception, and go Justin Jefferson for the Vikings and LSU.
All right.
Yep. Go ahead, JJ. How good are they going to? Warren brought them up about the Vikings because we faced them this year.
It's all about JJ, dude.
I know, but it's like, well, yeah, McCarthy and then Justin Jefferson. We'll see. All right, Giants LSU.
We don't need. Oh yeah, we do. Giants LSU. What is that?
Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I don't know if Jarvis ever played there, but Odell certainly did. All right, here we go. Right in on to it.
Where do you want to start?
New York, I'm thinking Mike Glennon, but I don't think he ever played for Dallas or the Cowboys. I don't know why that's on my mind there, but that was it.
Where are we starting?
I was going to do Giants. I was going down with the Giants.
Cowboys. Is that Chris Carter? Or not Chris Carter, Chris Canty.
That is Chris Canty. Good poll. Shout out to CeCe. An ESPN brethren of my own. What a poll, Ryan. Wow.
I like Unsportsmanlike.
Wow. Unsportsmanlike's a great show. It's
It is.
awesome. Shout out to Evan, Michelle, and CC. Awesome. All right. I want to say like Jack Doyle, but I think he's finished his career with the Colts.
Oh, no.
Ahmad Bradshaw?
Think of the Bills. I don't know.
Naheem Hines?
That's funny you say that. I thought of that, but I remember him on Buffalo.
I think he's pretty well.
I did think
I
Naeem
think there's
Hines.
a running back.
Should we save it?
Save it. All right, let's go Vikings.
Cowboys. That's got to be some Hall of Famer.
I keep having Chris Carter in my mind,
So did
but
I.
that's not right.
So did I. That's what I
Randy
thought.
Moss didn't go to either one of those other spots. John Randall, I don't think so. Yeah, you're right. There is just... Well, Jared Allen, new Hall of Famer, by the way. Congratulations. He didn't go to either one of those other spots, I don't think.
There's some receiver I'm thinking of.
I know. I'm stuck on a receiver, too.
Stephon Gilmore. That works, right? I think he works.
It works for both.
Yeah.
He works
So
for
do we
both.
wanna-
All right, can we think of a Colts one quick then? Colts Vikings. We have not used a quarterback yet, by the way, which is kind of shocking. Is there a quarterback that comes to mind there? I don't think Jim Harbaugh ever played for the Vikings.
No.
Like Christian Ponder, Jacoby Brissett never played in Minnesota.
Oh, no. Is that Xavier Rhodes?
That is Xavier Rhodes.
Right?
That is Xavier
For
Rhodes.
Colts
Now,
Vikings?
yes. And then now we can use Stephon Gilmore up there. That is right. Nice. All right, let's not count our chickens just yet.
So we thought Naeem Hines, but I think
I
we
think
can come up
Naheem
with...
Hines. I also, for some reason, I keep coming back to Ahmad Bradshaw, but I don't.
I can't confirm.
I don't. It doesn't sit right with me. It's definitely not Edgerrin James. We're really going to do this without a quarterback too, which is kind of impressive. Like it's not Brissett. Colt McCoy never played in Indianapolis. I actually don't think Fitzpatrick works here either. Joe Flacco does not work there. Phillip Rivers does not work there. Matt Ryan does not work there. I keep thinking running back too. Matt Breida?
Yeah.
Don't think so. I mean, I can't get off Naheem Hines, man.
I just
can't do it.
I know Buffalo. I just don't know if
I know we all know for a fact he played for the Colts. That's undeniable.
Right.
I don't know why I picture him with the Giants. I really do.
I'm thinking maybe we're just thinking the blue from Buffalo.
I can't come up with a better one. I might have to tell you to rip it.
All right. You can rip it, but I
Rip
will
it.
say I'm not.
That's fine. Your protest is marked.
Yeah. Hey, it's okay. Ahmad Bradshaw.
I might give us the win on that one.
Low key.
Low key. All right, wrap things up. We'll be back right after this. Stay with us. All right, what a jam-packed show this week. We cannot thank Warren Sharp enough, folks. Again, a special deal. Warren has 500 pages of football analysis to get you going for the season for our viewers and our listeners. You're watching on Big Play, you're watching on The Rock for just $1. $1. If you bet, if you play fantasy, it's easy enough for me to read, so it's probably easy enough for you to read. 500 pages for $1. Go to sharpfootballanalysis.com. Sharpfootballanalysis.com. You click on purchase. You get the NFL preview. There is a code in there. Put kickoff. Kickoff is the code just for our listeners and viewers. You get it for $1. It is great. We can't thank Warren enough. Appreciate everybody joining us on a busy show. To Fairway Ford, Pure AV, Garage Beer, bringing you the drinking game, and our newest partner at Physicians Ambulance. Appreciate your support. Go Browns, go Guards, and we'll talk to you next week. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana, and as always, take it easy.